Emotional-based allergies are an aspect of human health that we frequently address in our consultations. They will appear in your testing as a biochemical or emotional disorder. The testing will lead you to allergies, not intolerances, not aversions. It's different allergies. And when you are dealing with allergies, you have to ask if it is a real present allergy to something, or if it is an emotional-based allergy that is triggered by something, by an emotion. Emotional-based allergies differ from biochemical allergies because the start, the trigger, what activates them is something that happened in the past. I will give you an example of how this happens. Imagine that 5 years ago, I am eating an apple calmly. I am so calm eating an apple, and suddenly someone appears with a gun to rob me. It causes me a strong shock, and my unconscious links the apple with violence, with the robbery, with the gun, and that gets recorded in my unconscious as if the apple, it's an element that puts my health at risk. The unconscious has made that association. And obviously it's not the apple, it's the situation. But I am in the midst of enjoying the apple, with the apple being the protagonist of my sensations, my perception, my emotions. And I am focused on the apple when that act of violence occurs. Well, in my unconscious, the apple-violence relationship is recorded. Every time I eat an apple, from now on, it will activate and trigger that shock that was recorded in my unconscious in such a way that from now on, every time I eat an apple, I have a very high probability of having a rejection reaction, and it's a reaction that activates my homeostasis against the apple. My entire organism goes on alert or on the defensive against the effect of the apple, as you see. Well, that's how we humans are. And now what to do? Well, I'm not going to spend the rest of my life without eating apples. I'm not going to spend the rest of my life thinking I have a health problem and there's something wrong with me. So, we work from quantum kinesiology using the timeline. I ask, testing. Is it emotionally based? Yes. What causes it? Meat, fish, a sugar. A dairy, a vegetable, a fruit, yes. Which fruit? Tree. Fruity fruit. From the ground, bush fruit, tree fruit. From which tree? Since I already know the culture of my patient, if it's a patient living in Ecuador, then I will ask about the fruits that are common in Ecuador. Okay? I'm not going to ask about things that aren't there. And I start asking, is it the pineapple? Is it the banana? Is it the mango? Is it the soursop? For example, right? And until I get to the apple, and the apple, yes, confirms yes. Okay, now I know what the allergen is. The apple, when did it originate? And I test on the timeline. And I start to ask, a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago? Yes, it confirms. Well, in the apple 5 years ago. When I reach that information, apple 5 years ago, my patient's unconscious is already activating the memory in my patient that will tell you. It's true, 5 years ago I was sitting on the terrace eating an apple when they tried to rob me. There it goes almost, it's always like that. Except with children or very sick people, almost always the memory activates and brings the subject to you. And you start working. You can do it with hypnosis, performing an Edison hypnosis regression and removing the robbery from the unconscious memory, simply eating the apple calmly. Calmly, calmly, how delicious, down to the seed. I ate it. And that's how you deprogram, or I can do something else, test treatment for the shock produced by the situation in which it caused the apple allergy, and there they will appear with the elements of the tools you handle. From Reiki, hypnosis, acupuncture, laser, geometry, quantum remedies, floral remedies, Caribbean flowers, flowers and fruits from Ecuador, quantum fruits from Ecuador, whatever you use, and with this you deactivate it. And look how interesting that impression caused, because I was eating an apple when they tried to rob me. It has been recorded in my epigenome. It's in my epigenetics. And when I do the treatment with floral remedies or geometry or whatever is needed, it removes it from the epigenome and it fades away. And normally I won't have any more emotionally based allergies. But there's a but, it turns out, that I removed it from the epigenome. But the memory, the functional memory, the practical memory still remembers that the apple causes me an allergic reaction, uncomfortable, severe, or serious. The memory remembers that, and now I have to convince my memory that the apple no longer harms me. And how do I do this? I do it through a process of dehabituation to the allergy. On the first day, I take the apple, I look at it, I caress it, I suck on it if I want, or I take a small bite, and that's enough. 2 or 3 days later, I take a small piece of apple, put it in my mouth, suck on it, and then spit it out, throw it away. If everything goes well, 2 or 3 days later, I take a small piece of apple. I chew it and swallow it. And if everything goes well, the next day, I eat a good bite of apple. Like this, until I can eat an apple and my memory abandons the habit protector of the idea that the apple harms me. Okay? Well, this is the method we propose to you. There are others, there are quite a few more, but this one is very suitable for you as a kinesiologist or as a quantum kinesiologist. We suggest you practice it. It's super interesting and very effective. So there I leave you with your emotionally based allergies, hoping that you are very happy. A kiss. Thank you.